Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, will please stand for the presentation of our nation's flag by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Honor Guard, and at this time I call for the chorus to come forward. And remain standing for the invocation and the singing of our national anthem by the Ludlow High School Chorus under the direction of Mr. Dan Henry. Color Guard, advance the colors.
Color Guard, forward. Color Guard, up. Left face.
At this time, we'll have Deacon Norm from St. Elizabeth Parish will now offer the invocation.
Uncover.
Almighty God, Creator, Sustainer, Light, Fortress, Wisdom, and our strength. You moved men to establish this great nation. You stirred men to hope and to dream for a land of freedom. We praise you for this great nation. Lord, you have inspired many of our best and brightest men and women to volunteer to proudly stand and defend our beloved country. These brave and loyal men and women have steadfastly served in their chosen branch of the military. We gather today to remember all our veterans. We acknowledge that their service throughout the year enables us to walk as free men and women in this great land. Today, Lord, we seek to honor your sons and daughters who have served and who are serving our country. We're reminded that because of their service, we can live in safety. We ask that you abundantly bless those who have previously served. May their service time be rewarded in every way. May they gain earthly and heavenly blessings from their unselfish love of country. Lord, we stop now and remember those who are currently serving. We ask that you provide them with your protection, your strength, and your peace. We ask that you would abundantly provide all of their needs. We ask that you would enable them to overcome every personal and professional obstacle. We ask that you would protect their families from hurt and harm. May each of our veterans feel honored not just today, but every day. Father, we also give special recognition to our wounded warriors. We realize that many of our brothers and sisters are dealing with physical and emotional wounds that occurred as a result of their time of service to our country. Bless them abundantly, dear Lord. And we thank you for the gifts that these men and women are for protecting us. We offer all this in your name. Amen.
Present. Mark.
What so proud
Honor guard, order, march. Right, face. Forward.
Please join me in a round of applause to the Ludlow High School Chorus and Mr. Henry for an outstanding job. You all may be seated. Before I begin the official ceremonies, I want to take a special moment to recognize Master Sergeant Jerry McBride, who just returned from Afghanistan several days ago. Mr. McBride, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to our country. Welcome home. Good morning and welcome to the 2019 Ludlow Veterans Day ceremony. My name is Eric Segundo and I'm the Director of Veterans Services here in Ludlow and your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. I would like to introduce our distinguished guest here with us today, State Senator, and, oh, not here. Lost my place. Representative Thomas Petrolotti, 7th Hampden District. Chairman of the Board of Selectmen and Marine Corps veteran Derek DeBarge. Selectmen Tony Gonzalez, Manny Silva, and Bill Rosenblum. I recognize our Town Administrator, Ellie Bonanno. To our Police Chief, Fire Chief, and their staff, welcome. School committee members and elected town officials. Also want to recognize past State Commander of the AMVETS, Jim Pesey, and past State Commander of the VFW, George Murray. Other guests in attendance with us today, of course, our Veteran of the Year, Tom Fournier. VFW Post 3236 Commander Rick Askew. And the American Legion Post 52 in Ludlow, Ryan Howe. I do have school committee member Jake Alvera in the back. It is truly an honor to join with you today because today is a special day. It is in fact a remarkable day as we meet to honor a select group of people. As veterans of an organization whose primary mission is to serve and care for those who have served, we understand that Veterans Day is a day of deep significance, of opportunity. It is a day we recognize and honor the million of men and women who have answered when their nations called and who have selflessly gone whenever and wherever they were called. More than 100 years since the first Veterans Day was observed, we still gather today to reflect on those who have fought to preserve the freedoms every American enjoys, and the thousands of men and women of our military, once again taking up arms against the enemy of our way of life. Veterans Day continues to be a day of reflection. It is a day when all Americans should take time to consider the legacy of freedom and liberty that has been passed on to us. It is a day to think about the awesome responsibility that is ours and what it takes to maintain the land of the free, the home of the brave. It is a day to remember the generation of patriots who have bravely shouldered the burden for many. Now more than ever, it is important that we take time to thank the men and women who selflessly sacrificed to serve in our armed forces. I now ask all veterans, those currently serving, to please stand and be recognized. To those of us who have worn or continue to wear the uniform of our great country, and to our family members who stand just as strong at home, there is no doubt that Veterans Day brings with it meaningful significance. To every American veteran, Veterans Day means much more than a federal holiday. It is a day when we honor the contributions and sacrifices of more than 19.5 million veterans and service members who have proudly served our country, and all those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in the name of liberty and justice. Every generation of Americans undoubtedly owes a debt of gratitude to these brave patriots, and we must do everything we can to make sure the men and women who serve today and tomorrow's military receives what they need to accomplish their mission of safeguarding Americans' interests. There is a common bond that exists between the men and women who have shared the military experience. There exists a shared sense of duty and a common belief in a cause higher than self. Our nation's veterans chose to serve, and by doing so, assumed the risks associated with maintaining freedom. They also exist a shared intensity of dedication to the ideas and freedoms and to the ideals of democracy. There is an understanding and respect for each of us because each realize that they have contributed to the greater good, and there is an understanding and shared knowledge of the values of their deeds. They understand the true essence of America. Our country is like no other in history. Ours was a nation founded not on tribalism or classism, but one that provides rare and unique opportunity to disagree, to worship and express oneself without fear of reprisal or incarceration or execution. Freedom and liberty are the birthright of every American, but we have to fight for it. Maintain the strength of American ideals require courage and consistent vigilance against those who envy what often we take for granted. It requires great love for the American way of life. Without the love, the dedication of spirit, and without the sacrifices of our veterans, tyrants and evil will prevail. Throughout our history and among other veterans, there is but one truth and one absolute: America will stand. If I could make any demands today, I would demand my fellow citizens grant our keepers of peace and protectors of freedom, our veterans, with the care and respect they so richly deserve and rightfully deserve. Those of us who care to honor Americans' heroes gather because we are honoring our sons and daughters, our mothers and fathers, and our brothers and sisters. We are serving on behalf of everyone in our great country, just like the generation of American patriots did before them. For every single man and woman who have donned a U.S. military uniform by virtue of their service and sacrifice, today is their day to stand tall and be recognized by a grateful nation. I ask all those who serve, thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Derek DeVarge, Marine Corps veteran and chairman of the Ludlow Board of Selectmen, for his opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me for a moment. 1 year older and another prescription. Thank you for coming. It's very humbling to see so many come out to honor our veterans. Before I get into my remarks, I'd like to acknowledge some of my fellow speakers. First, I'd like to thank all veterans for their service. I'd like to thank my fellow town employees and volunteers for coming. I'd like to thank my good friend, State Representative Tom Petrolotti, my colleagues in the Select Board, And as I said, all the town employees and volunteers for being here. I would also like to mention one man who has been a standout in our town for so long, the Honorable Bill Rooney. Thanks for coming. And first, I'd like to acknowledge our town Veteran of the Year, Mr. Thomas, or actually Staff Sergeant Thomas Fournier. I've gotten to know Tom a little over the past couple of years, and I can tell you he's a very stand-up guy who cares about this town. He currently volunteers on our track and fields committee, and you can see him in many town events. He is the perfect choice for this award. I would also like to congratulate all of the well-deserved award winners, from the Outstanding Community Partner to the High School Voice of Democracy Essay Contest and Middle School Patriots Pen Contest winners, plus many more. And to Eric Segundo. A lot of us see Eric at ceremonies like this, or on parades like Memorial Day, or the 50-year anniversary of the Vietnam Parade he organized. But there is so much more to Eric in his job. I talked to a very nice lady the other day at the senior center when they were holding their Veterans Day luncheon. She told me a story that I hope she doesn't mind I paraphrase a little bit. I thought it nice for all of you to hear. This story just embodies what Eric and the other great VSOs do for their communities. She told me about how Eric helped her retrieve all her brother's medals from when he served in the Korean War. Now, I don't want to tell too much of her story, but now she has these medals, medals which she knew nothing about when her brother came home. But with Eric's help, now she has them framed on her wall. And that's just one of the great things that great VSOs do for their communities. So Eric, I salute you for that. So for my remarks this morning, I began a while ago thinking about what topic I'd like to speak about. I would think about my time in and compare that to what I've seen through the years and up to what I see and hear now. I'm kind of a military history buff, so I thought long and hard about what would be prudent to talk about today. It caused me to think about the evolution of the veteran. For example, females have served in our military for well over 200 years. It was known that some women would dress up as men in order to fight in the Revolutionary War. Though in those early years, they would sometimes be referred to as the invisible veterans. Yet in World War II, they were opening more doors for themselves. The Women Air Force Service Pilots, or WASPs, as they were called, played a huge role in the war effort by flying planes from factories to air bases, by towing targets for anti-aircraft training, and test piloting experimental aircraft and training male pilots as well. In 2009, the WASP were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest and most distinguished award Congress can present to a civilian. These medals were also awarded to the Navajo Code Talkers and the Tuskegee Airmen, respectively. Today, women are flying combat missions wherever needed, while others are on the ground with combat engineers and infantry units in the thick of the fog of war. The evolution of the veteran. Our African American veterans, along with other minority veterans, have participated in every war fought by or in the United States, suffering persecution upon returning to the U.S. from World War I, World War II, Korea, in Vietnam along with just about everybody else. Yet they kept on fighting. They kept signing up. Then in 1940, the first African American brigadier general was appointed by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Since that time, there have been nearly 400 other African American and women appointed to that rank. Recently, President Trump appointed the first African American female brigadier general in the United States Marine Corps. All the while, Latino American enlistees have dominated the Marine Corps ranks more than any other branch of service and have been reaching the top ranks within the Corps. Evolution of the veteran. With all of this history, with all of this change, I have found one to be ever constant. Even if it's within the individual, a single squad, a platoon, a company, then a division, and on to a full branch of service, then finally to the entire United States service. That is, that as a country we are imperfect. And we have many flaws in our past. But that constant has always remained the constant that has always remained the same is the willingness of the individual to serve and or fight for something that is bigger or greater than themselves. This is why the camaraderie is so strong among veterans. We all thank you for your support. Please continue to keep the veterans' history alive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. DeBarge. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our state representative, Thomas Petrolotti.
Good morning. And before I start, I'd like to give some advice to my good friend and colleague, Derek DeBarge. They're called bifocals. You can buy them nowadays. To Staff Sergeant Fournier, to the veterans, to the members of the Board of Selectmen, to our school committee, town officials, reverend clergy, and of course, the great people of the town of Ludlow. Before I get into my prepared remarks, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to single out Eric Segundo. I have been coming to these ceremonies since I was the age of 24. That's a long time ago. But I have never seen the sense of enthusiasm and commitment and dedication that he brings to not only this ceremony, but to Memorial Day. He has established himself not only here in Western Massachusetts, but throughout the Commonwealth. And I have seen that on numerous times when he has come down to Boston to be recognized for his outstanding work. So I just want to take this time to recognize him and thank him for not what he just does here in Ludlow, but throughout Western Massachusetts and throughout this Commonwealth. We recognize today that we gather to pay tribute to the country's men and women who have worn the uniform of the United States of America. Each of these men and women have taken an oath to defend America. And they have upheld that oath with honor, decency, and bravery. Through the generations, they have humbled dictators. They have liberated continents. And they have set a standard of courage and idealism for the entire world. Their dedication and bravery of these individuals have preserved our nation in its most challenging and toughest times. And whether it was in peace or war, the important role of a veteran should never be denied nor forgotten. For we all know and are cognizant of the fact that there is no group that has stood stronger and braver for a nation than those who have served in the armed forces. When we look back to our illustrious history, we recognize that from the bitter cold of the winters of Valley Forge to the boiling hot Iraq terrain, our soldiers have courageously answered the call when called upon, gone where ordered, and defended our nation with honor. They have done everything and then some that they were asked to do to preserve those virtues of freedom and democracy that we so cherish and share in this nation. So that is why on Veterans Day, we honor the courage of those who were lost in current and past struggles, but we're also mindful of those families who lost loved ones. We take the time to pray for their comfort and understanding, and we remember the men and women in uniform whose fate is still undetermined, our prisoners of war and those missing in action. Their sacrifices created a debt that America can never fully repay. So let me suggest this to you, if I may, on this Veterans Day. As we raise the flags, as bugle sound taps, we remember that the men and women of America's armed services served with a great cause and distinction. They followed a great tradition handed down to them by the previous American veterans. So today, whether we are in public ceremonies such as these, or that take place throughout the Commonwealth of the nation, or whether we are in private prayer, we give thanks for the freedom we enjoy because of their willingness to serve. Because as long as this country stands for the virtues of democracy, we know that the young men and women will be called upon to take up arms to protect us. General Douglas MacArthur once said, and I quote, "However horrible the incident of war may be, the soldier who is called upon to offer and give his life for his country is the noblest development of mankind." Although Veterans Day is a special time to honor their courage, and it only happens once a year, I pray and hope that each of us will hold our veterans in our hearts and in our spirits each and every day. And as we look forward to the future for our children and our grandchildren, let us come here today and throughout the Commonwealth and throughout this nation to renew our commitment that we will never forget their sacrifice, that we will never make little of their efforts, and most importantly, that we will always be here to support them when they return. To the veterans, thank you, and may God bless you who wear the uniform, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. And before I go, a thanks to each and every one of you from the town of Ludlow to always recognizing and honoring our veterans. Thank you, and may God bless.
Thank you, Representative Petrolotti. It is now my honor to introduce the Veteran of the Year. The town of Ludlow has selected Army veteran Thomas Fournier as Ludlow's 2019 Veteran of the Year. Tom served in the United States Army Reserve from October 2000 to November 2011 as an equipment operator assigned to the 226 Trans Company, assigned to West Air Reserve Base. In 2005, Tom met his wife Cindy, who joined the unit, and just prior to their deployment, they got married and deployed together to Iraq with the 220th Trans Company based out of New Hampshire. While deployed with his wife, they both extended their tours and remained in Iraq until May of 2007. Tom left the military in November of 2011, and since leaving, Tom has been very active supporting veterans and participating in numerous races as a member of Red, White, and Blue, Tough Ruck Marathons. He's done the Army 10-miler 2 times, and most recently he ran in the home base event to raise funds for PTSD treatment in partnership with the Red Sox Foundation and Mass General Hospital. Tom also volunteers his other spare time with the Ludlow Girl Scouts. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Fournier. Tom's going to be presented a trophy, an Army Soldier Trophy, as well as citations from Petrolati, Representative Petrolati and Senator Lesser, and the Board of Selectmen.
On behalf of myself and my colleague, Eric Lesser, we had the distinct pleasure and honor this past Wednesday of offering into the House and the Senate, respectfully, a citation. And I would just like to read some of the particulars, if I may. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House and Senate offers its sincerest congratulations to U.S. Army Sergeant Veteran Thomas Fournier in recognition of being honored as the Ludlow Veteran of the Year. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and express the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors, given this the 11th day of November 2019 at the State House by Senator Eric P. Lesser and offered by Thomas M. Petrolati, State Representative. Congratulations.
From the town of Ludlow, Veteran of the Year, Thomas Fournier. Veterans Day gives Americans the opportunity to celebrate the bravery and sacrifice of all United States veterans. The day is set aside to thank and honor living veterans who serve honorably in the military during wartime or peacetime. This year, the Veteran of the Year Award is presented to Thomas Fournier for efforts, commitment, and accomplishments to our country, our veterans, and their families. Thomas served the United States Army Reserve in October 2000 and deployed to Iraq in August 2005. While deployed with his wife Cindy, they both extended their tours and remained in Iraq until May 2007. There are few more deserving than Mr. Fournier for his honor. Thomas's loyalty, diligence, and devotion to duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflects great credit upon himself, the town of Ludlow, and the United States Army. Therefore, we, the Board of Selectmen, honor him today as the 2019 recipient Veteran of the Year Award and urge all our citizens to unite in this special celebration of American spirit and respect for Mr. Fournier. Signed, the Board of Selectmen. Town of Ludlow.
I got one more citation here. There's a little history to this, so I hope you keep this well. This citation is from the governor's office, and its request came from Milford, from our friend Chip Harrington. It ended up going to Somerville, where it was transferred over to someone there. who then brought it to Bourne, who then passed it on to another individual who made it here. So this citation has made its way across the state, the entire state, and is because it's worthy for you. On behalf of the citizens of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I am pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation in recognitions of your efforts and accomplishments on behalf of our country, our veterans and their families throughout your service to the United States Army and your commitment to the town of Ludlow. For these reasons and for the loyalty and diligence that you displayed throughout your career, the Commonwealth congratulates you on being named the 2019 Ludlow Veteran of the Year. This 11th day of November 2019, signed Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito. I think the Girl Scouts are here. Yes, you want to come forward? So he received a thank you from the Girl Scouts for his dedication to them as well. But as we know that in every veteran, their significant other plays a key part of their service. And at this time, we also want to recognize his wife, Cindy. Cindy, for those who don't know, just retired from the United States Army a few days ago after 23 years of plus service with deployments to Bosnia, Kosovo, and Iraq. Cindy, please come forward as we present you with an American flag. Service to country runs in the family.
On behalf of Post Sergeant Joshua DeForge, 3236, I want to thank Eric and everyone else involved in the post for selecting me as Veteran of the Year. I find myself as just the ordinary veteran that goes out and does this service to help other veterans in need. So it's definitely an outstanding award. I greatly appreciate it. I was actually planning on signing my wife up for the Veteran of the Year, and I asked Eric what's needed to send in the nominee, and he told me all the information. He's like, just get a bio of yourself and her, and we'll put something together. And once I sent him the bio for my wife, with myself included, he let me know that I was the one who was selected for Veteran of the Year. So thank you very much, Eric. As Eric mentioned, a lot of my tributes to the veterans is through races, home base at Fenway Park, Sergeant Joshua DeForge race right here behind the high school, And the most current one I'm currently training for is Boston Marathon 2020 for home base. It's an organization funded by Mass General Hospital and the Boston Red Sox, who helps soldiers, veterans, and their families with PTSD. So throughout the year, and this winter, I'm the one who's usually out running between 6 o'clock at night and 10 o'clock at night around the area. So if you see me running around, it's only me. But again, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated, and it's an honor to serve the town of Ludlow. Thank you.
At this time, I will ask Representative Petrolotti and the selectmen to stand on this side of me for a special recognition. If you are a Vietnam veteran who served in country or in the Navy, the Blue Water Navy as they call it, please stand and come forward. We want to recognize you. Christine Bassett, can you come forward? If you are a Vietnam veteran, please come forward. Thank you for your service. Welcome home. Come up on stage. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts just printed these commemorative Vietnam books, A Time to Honor, and today these are the first Vietnam veterans being presented these books in the Commonwealth. Several years ago, when I was at the Senior Center, we had taken a photo of our World War II veterans when they assembled together. And I wanted to keep this tradition going with our Vietnam veterans so that we could memorize their service and have our Ludlow veterans, Vietnam veterans, together in one place at one time. So. Final round of applause for our Vietnam veterans. Once again, thank you for your service to our country and welcome home. If you are a family member of a Vietnam veteran who served in country and has passed, you are more than welcome to see me afterwards and get a book as well in memory of your loved one. So if you are a family member of a Vietnam veteran, you can see me today or spread the word. I'll have the books at the town hall in my office. Our next award is recognition of the business of the year. The Sergeant Joshua DeForge, VFW Post 3236, has annually recognized an outstanding business who emphasizes great community service to the veterans and their families. This year's recipient is Luso Fredo Credit Union. great honor and pleasure to present Russo Federal Credit Union with the 2019 VFW Business of the Year Award.
On behalf of Luso Federal Credit Union, its members, its staff, we wish to thank all our veterans and their families for their great sacrifice. Thank you.
I kind of messed up a little bit. I should read my own script. Can one of the Girl Scouts come up and grab, Cindy, I have flowers for you that were supposed to be presented to you, totally. I would have made you get up, but you're retired now. Our next recognition is the Outstanding Community Partner of the Year. The Outstanding Community Partner of the Year award is presented to a community partner that has contributed to the improvement and quality of life in our community. PB Financial Group has exemplified community engagement activities which directly contribute to the betterment of the lives of our residents, veterans, and their families. Their commitment to community is in keeping with the aims and ideas of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's VFW Outstanding Community Partner of the Year is awarded to PB Financial.
It's truly our honor to support the veterans and especially their families also. Thank you.
Our next award is the Volunteer of the Year. The Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 3236 Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes an individual who has volunteered their time and commitment to our veterans and their families. This award recognizes and celebrates a volunteer who has gone above and beyond in their volunteer service. The purpose of this award is to honor the volunteer whose dedicated service has a significant impact to our organization and the community at large. For those who know Lori, know that she never says no and is always there to assist in any event or function, whether it's with her church, the Cub Scouts, the PAC, the town, Celebrate Ludlow, you name it, she is always giving of herself and her time. The 2019 Volunteer of the Year Award is presented to Lori Martin Smith.
Thank you very much. This is quite an acknowledgement that I appreciate very much. Certainly not the type of thing that I can accept on my own. We have our unit of 1774, our PAC, our troop, our parents, our leaders. We, whenever there's an opportunity to help any veteran organization in town, we're happy to do so. We're greeting tonight, or this morning, and we're always happy to be able to have the opportunity for our scouts and our families to help out where we can. Thank you very much.
The next award is the VFW Community Service Award. The Community Service Award is presented to a business who has significantly contributed to their community through their time, actions, talents, and dedication. This year's recipient is Valley's classic hit 97.7, 1250 AM radio station and owner Bruce Marshall. 97.7 has assisted in numerous veterans events, to include securing donations of over 200 turkeys to go to the veterans' families for a second year in a row. They have also incorporated a veterans segment monthly on their station, which allows us to provide information and services to veterans and their families in their listening area. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's VFW Community Service Award is presented to Bruce Marshall and Valley's classic hit 97.7.
Well, good morning, everybody. We have our fakey wakies here too as well. I'd like to first say thank you to all of our veterans and their families for their service. Thank you for this award. I'm humbled to receive it. Although I have never served, my involvement with supporting military and veteran organizations continues as a tribute to my father, a World War II veteran honored with a Bronze Star and Purple Heart. It has always been important for me as a business person as we use our reach and talent to support and show respect and commitment to all of our veterans. Your sacrifice does not go unnoticed, and every small thing we and other businesses can do is greatly appreciated. I'm honored to continue supporting in any way I can. Thank you.
Did that with his radio voice. Thank you, Bruce. It's always a pleasure working with Bruce. Anything I need, I'll call him up, and him and his station are there for us, as well as PV Financial and Luso. That's the reason why we recognize them here today, because we can't do what we do if it's not with the community partners and the businesses like yourselves that are continuously supporting our veterans. So a round of applause to all the awardees and your recognition. Thank you for the continued support of our veterans. Reefs Across America's mission is to remember, honor, and teach. Each December, on National Reefs Across America Day, wreath laying ceremonies are held at more than 1,600 cemeteries in all 50 U.S. states, at sea and abroad. Here in Ludlow, Capital Driver Leasing, Heidi and Brenda, brought the mission to Ludlow and has, for the last several years, raised enough sponsorships to place a wreath on every veteran's grave here in Ludlow. I think that deserves a round of applause. But each year, they start at zero, and they work all year long to ensure that no veteran's grave will go without. At this time, I would like to call Heidi and Brenda forward. A along with Teresa and the employees from Performance Food Group, to come forward for a special presentation. Through their fundraising efforts, the Ludlow Reefs Across America location is a recipient of and these are employees who donate all year long through their company, whether for whatever reason, whatever fundraising activities they do at the office and throughout their company. So at this time, they want to present a check to Reefs Across America here in Ludlow. They are presenting a check to Reefs Across America in the amount of $6,541. So I'm going to have Heidi or Brenda come forward, say a few words. But we want to once again thank Performance Foods for their donation and recognizing of all the opportunities to donate. You chose Ludlow and the veterans and their families here in Ludlow.
A little nervous. That's an extremely large and generous gift. First and foremost, we at Capital Driver Leasing would like to thank all our servicemen and women, past, present, and future, for without you, we wouldn't have the freedoms we do, and we would be a different nation entirely. Thank you, Performance Food Group, for your generous and gracious contribution in our efforts of remembering our fallen, honoring those who serve, and teaching our children the values of freedom. As Ludlow's Reefs Across America location coordinators and fundraising group, we'd also like to recognize our supporters, volunteers, businesses, and veteran cause groups for your assistance and dedication in helping us honor all Ludlow's veterans and beyond. Ludlow's Reefs Across America ceremonies are made possible by your assistance each December. With respect and gratitude, we thank you. We also have a certificate to Performance Food Group for their generous donation and a couple little pins. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Wow, that is truly we can ensure that every Ludlow's veteran will be covered this year. And something that here in Ludlow is done differently is once we reach our goal that every veteran's grave is covered, whatever extra reefs are sponsored, they are then forwarded over to Agawam Veterans Cemetery. So we will continue to fundraise to cover every wreath here, every stone here in Ludlow, but make sure that we forward those to Agawam so they can cover all their veterans, because we have veterans who live in Ludlow that are buried in Agawam, so we want to thank them for that. Our next award is the Citizen Education Award, a recognition too often overlooked. Each year, an exemptional teacher is recognized by the VFW for their outstanding commitment to teach Americanism and patriotism to their students. The VFW annually recognizes the nation's top classroom teachers with a Smart Mara VFW National Citizen Education Teachers Award. And at this time, I would like to call upon Michelle Dearmore from Bear Middle School to present our nominee.
morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank the veterans and their families and the current service people for their service. I also wanted to mention that one of the reasons I'm so proud and grateful to be a part of the Ludlow community is this ceremony every year. Thank you. I recommend Anna Baboval, a 7th grade geography teacher at Baird Middle School, for your VFW Teacher of the Year Award. Ms. Baboval instills a sense of community where all students are equally valued, working collaboratively to demonstrate their mastery of her curriculum. Her class imparts pride in being an American, as well as an understanding and appreciation of our allies, so students recognize the value of friendships in navigating global challenges. Ms. Baboval's success as a teacher qualifies her for your award, but she is most remarkable as Baird's Travel Club advisor. She has earned the gratitude of students and families through her tireless commitment managing the club, including her dynamic fundraising of $4,000 to $7,000 annually to ensure all students share a fair opportunity to travel with the club. When President Harry S. Truman said, "America was built on courage, imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand," he described Ms. Baboval's tenacity in providing students extraordinary experiences, traveling to locations such as Canada, Great Britain, and Iceland to visit capitals, thereby learning more about U.S. government. I accompanied the club on a trip to Washington, D.C., where chaperones burst with pride at students' captivation and respect, visiting Mount Vernon, the United States Congressional Chamber, and the room where the Articles of Confederation were drafted. Witnessing students' reverence at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery brought tears to my eyes. A graduating LHS senior wrote, "I wanted to express how much the travel club benefited me. I'm grateful I was given the opportunity, and the experiences will carry with me through life. It's a wonderful program. I hope it continues well into the future so students like me can learn and discover their love for travel." The Education First Tour Company wrote of Ms. Baboval, "We recognize the influence she has had on students and the community. 201 students have expanded their knowledge of the world, discovering more about themselves and understanding more about people and cultures. I hope you agree Ms. Baboval is a candidate worthy of the 2019 VFW Teacher of the Year Award, and I appreciate this opportunity to recognize such an outstanding educator. Thank you."
This is a little more intimidating than 27th graders standing up here in front of all of you. I'm proud and humbled to accept this award. My youngest brother, Aaron, is an Air Force veteran, and he became an Arabic defense linguist at the same time I began teaching. Hearing his thoughts and experiences on the global climate and culture really shaped the lens from which I teach. My goal for teaching my curriculum and running Travel Club has always been to develop globally aware citizens who are committed to bettering our society based on their understanding of the world around them. Over the years, I've had many parents move to tears over the growth their child has made in this direction on a Travel Club tour. I look forward to continue watching our young citizens grow for many years to come. It's an honor to be standing here in front of all of you. Thank you, and thank you to all who have served.
So Anna, right? Anna's nomination, she's won here locally. It will be submitted forward to the state level competition where she can be advanced to the state level, and then if she wins that, then she will move on to a national level competition, just as the students do as well. Our next presentations will be the Student Awards. We'll start off with the Patriot Pen Awards. The VFW believes strongly in good citizenship and fostering, can you answer that phone, please? Thank you. The VFW bravely, I was joking. I'll begin again. The VFW believes strongly in good citizenship and fostering patriotism. That is why we encourage youthful minds to examine our nation's history and their own experiences in modern American society through our Patriot Pen essay writing contest. Annually, more than 100 students from grades 6 through 8 nationwide enter. One first-place winner from each state competes to win one of 46 national awards totaling $46,000. The national first-place winner wins $5,000 and an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. in March. This year, the VFW received a total of 422 essays from students at Baird Middle School. Let me repeat that, 422 essays. And that is because the school has made it part of their curriculum. And we are honored that Ludlow's school and the school committee acknowledges how important this is, because many communities across the Commonwealth refuse to even allow the VFW in or take part in these essays as a disservice to their school districts. But here in Ludlow, we are honored that they allow this. We want to congratulate each of them for taking part in this program. And today, you sitting in the audience are the top 20 of 422. Students will be presented with a certificate and a monetary award. And I would now ask the following students placing 11 through 20 in no particular order. So the 10 students that come up have placed between 11 and 20 in no particular order, will come up and receive their citation, and they all will receive a small monetary award. And at this time, I'm going to call Michelle Dearmore and Jake Oliveira to come forward, because I am not going to try to read these names.
Well, Eric had actually asked me to read the names about 30 seconds before I got on stage. And when we were judging the actual competition, we actually didn't have the names of the students at all, so we could be non-biased in it. So I'm going to defer more to Michelle if there's a hard name to actually pronounce. But we'll start right on the left over here, Eric. This list. So the first name, I'll let Michelle do.
Miss Etta Odsmer.
Alyssa Vermette. Davini McHale. Marcus Sanchez. Samantha Grimaldi. Ava Gabriello. Iamon Di Ventu. And not attending today, but also a recipient, Natalie Carrera.
So a round of applause to the 11th through 20th. And what I'm going to have them do is stand to this side here. Do not exit the stage, but you can start lining up where the flags start. Now we're going to call the 5th through 10th place winners, again in no particular order, 5 through 10.
Evan Jaworski. Devin Skiba. Kaylee Foley. Elena Chapin. And Cristiano Marte.
So that should have been 6 through 10, because we have our 5th place. So at this point, the remaining 5 students to come forward, we'll call them up once at a time. They're placing in their order.
So 5th place, Matteo Balbino. 4th place, Miaya Boyce.
'All right, I'm going to call the next 3 students up. This is your top 3. I'm going to call them up in no particular order, so they're already up here when we get down to the first place winner.
Okay. Ariana Ardeen. Stephen Goodrow. And Isabel Cruz.
So where's my top 3 right here? Come on, flags. So this is the magnitude here, 422 essays. Here are your top 3. Third place, Isabel Cruz. Second place, Ariana, did I say that right? Ladies and gentlemen, your first place winner, Stephen Goudreau. So Stephen has agreed to read his essay. If I can find it here. This is optional for the Patriot Pen to read it. VOD, prepare yourself because first place is required to read it. So I'll let you get your jitters out.
In my opinion, there are a number of reasons that America is great. First reason is that all of the citizens have freedom. Second reason is that all citizens over the age of 18 can vote for leaders that best support their individual beliefs. The third reason is that the United States of America is made up of many different religions, cultures, and languages. To remember all of these reasons, we celebrate the birth of our country that we love every 4th of July. We do this to honor the Founding Fathers who wrote the Declaration of Independence, the veterans who fought for our freedom, and all of the current soldiers protecting our beliefs. When the Founding Fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, they took into consideration natural rights or the rights to have life, liberty, and property. This is highlighted by the focus on individual freedoms outlined in the Bill of Rights, specifically the First Amendment of freedom of speech. The Declaration of Independence also specifies that each person has the right to life, liberty, and property in the pursuit of happiness. Secondly, the fathers supported the empowerment of the citizens by having them elect their leaders. This fourth of government allows the people to have the power and a say in the way that the country is ruled. Having citizens vote for the leaders at the town, state, or federal level allows them to select those that have the same beliefs as them. Additionally, the ability for each citizen to vote is something that I personally am excited to have as an opportunity. Lastly, America is great because we have welcomed citizens since our birth that have a variety of different religions, languages, beliefs, and customs. This diversity makes America a unique country while showing the world that democracy can be successful as well as inclusive. America also embraces that philosophy as it helps to support people in need throughout the world living in a country that embraces diversity, empowerment of its citizens, and freedom for all. That makes me proud to be an American citizen.
Another opportunity, because we had so many entries, 422, the requirements or the VFW program allows us to submit 5 forward. So the top 5 essays, to include Stevens, will move forward to district level competition. So the top 5, you're still in the race. Another round of applause to all the students and their essays. Mom and dads, they have cash on them. Just FYI. We're now going into our Voice of Democracy. I did fail to mention that the essay topic for both programs is what makes America great. That is the topic this year. Each year, nearly 40,000 high school students from across the country enter to win a share of the $2.2 million in educational scholarships and incentive awards through the VFW's Voice of Democracy audio essay competition. The VFW established the Voice of Democracy program in 1947 to provide students grades through 9 and 12 the opportunity to express themselves in regards to the democratic ideals and principles. Just a history from my history buff, Mr. DeBarge. President Kennedy was a Voice of Democracy entry when he was in high school. The national first place winner will receive a $30,000 scholarship paid directly to the recipient's American University College or Vocational Technical School. Other national scholarships range from $1,000 to $16,000, and the first place winner from each state VFW department wins an all-expense paid trip to Washington, D.C. The VFW state winner tops prize is $3,500. Last year, Ludlow High School, Matt Tibbetts, who is here with us today, achieved first place in the state of Massachusetts. That is a true testament to our educators here in Ludlow who do an outstanding job in educating our youth. At this time, I want to call Ludlow High School Principal Lisa Nemeth and Marty Fanning, if he's here, to come forward to receive a plaque recognizing the achievement of Matt Tibbetts and Ludlow High School for last year. And the plaque reads, presented to Ludlow High School in appreciation for support and participation in the Voice of Democracy program of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Department of Massachusetts, and it's dated January 27, 2019. You're an alumni. You must participate for future events. And I was just reminded that last year, Matt Lucier came in second place in the state of Massachusetts. So Ludlow High School is really on the map with the students and how they educate.
I guess Eric's putting me on the spot. I'm just very grateful to be sent to Washington, D.C. last year. We had the opportunity to tour all the war memorials, go to Arlington National Cemetery with our VFW veteran escorts. We had a great ceremony in D.C. I came in decently high. I got a $2,000 scholarship at the national level. Not what Eric was expecting of me, but I never failed to disappoint. It was a great honor, and we got to go back to Philly for a reunion and visit Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. You know, just checking. It was a great experience. I'm still in touch with very many of my peers, and I'm hoping that another Ludlow High School alumni will get that chance too. Thank you.
Hey Marty, don't go nowhere. We'll have you stay up here so you can read these names too. If you don't mind. Matt had a great time. He went down to Washington, then they would go to Philadelphia. So this program, and I'm not trying to put Matt on the spot, but from what I understand, when these kids from all over the country get together, I think, George, correct me if I'm wrong, we have 2 married couples out of the VOD program nationally, yep. So these kids meet each other down in Washington, and it has led to 2 weddings, as well as some that have joined the military after that, so parents beware. Before I go to I do want to recognize the teachers behind this, because without the teachers who help the students get their essays recorded in the Patriot Pen, get them properly formatted and submitted, and their applications done right. Michelle Diamore, and I know she has several other faculty members at her school. Marty Fanning, who's a great asset here in the high school, who helps get these kids' essays done. and parts of the Boys and Girls State program that he runs as well. So round of applause to Marty. I hate to put him on the spot. All right, so we're gonna go, I think I'll call you up in a few seconds here. I can do the first two. They will be presented with a citation as well as a monetary award. And the 5th place winner is Megan Santos. Fourth place winner, Sidonia Wicker. Third place winner is Peter Mikitis. Peter's being presented with a citation and cash of $175. Second place winner, receiving a citation and, again, cash in the amount of $200, Grace McCarty. Our first place winner is Sarah Marie. Sarah is being presented a citation as well as cash in the amount of $250. She will also advance to district level competition where her essay will compete with students from across Hampden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties.
I had no idea I had to read this if I won. So the topic was what makes America great. At my school, I'm the manager for the girls' volleyball team. A few weeks ago, I was asked to sing the national anthem for senior night. Despite being extremely nervous, I decided to sing, and I gave it my all. At every home game, our coach, Coach Jarvis, always says we cannot play the anthem until everyone in the bleachers takes off their hats. I'm ashamed to say I never thought much of this until that night when I had to sing. I thought he was simply being strict, as usual. But at that game, as I sang, I understood. I finally felt the passion in the song. Water gathered in my eyes. Every word, every note began to stir something in me. It was a new feeling. It was for respect, for hope, for thanks that we are able to live in a free country. I had practiced the songs many times before, but that final time, I felt proud. I felt like I had a purpose, a self, a voice. Although I was born in America, I am by blood Portuguese. Growing up, I always thought that's all I was. Both my grandparents had moved to moved to the United States from Portugal to get a job, raise a family, and escape the Portuguese colonial conflicts occurring at the time. I thank my avós, my grandparents, for giving me the chance to live and grow up in this country of hope. I have been living in America for almost 18 years now, and over these years, I have learned how to be my own individual. Here, I have the freedom to be whoever I wish, and have as equal an opportunity as any other citizen to succeed. The case would not have been the same for my avós. The Portuguese dictatorship at the time, Estado Novo, was one of the longest surviving authoritarian regimes in Europe. By the fall of the Estado Novo, Portugal had the lowest per capita income in Western Europe, the highest rate of preventable deaths, and the highest infant mortality rate in Europe as a whole. And out of 195 countries, my avós came here. The United States may not be a perfect utopian society, but even then, millions came to find a better life and more opportunities, and opportunity is what they found. All four of my Portuguese grandparents started working in factories in Massachusetts. After getting settled, one of my grandfathers got a job in construction, putting skills he had learned in Portugal to use. He helped in creating huge buildings, hotels, and arenas. Mainly, he worked on college and university buildings, which are his favorite to talk about. My avó never got to experience this higher learning for himself, only getting the equivalent of an 8th grade education from Portugal. Although it was too late for him to finish his education, it was not too late for his children. The US gave his children the option to pursue college if they so pleased, which my mom did. My avó's construction job allowed him to see the education he never had, and the opportunities his children and grandchildren would receive. Now being a high school senior, I am in the college application process myself. I will pursue higher education and a career of my choice, all thanks to my grandparents and this country. So when my Portuguese grandfather heard me sing the Star Spangled Banner, he cried. He smiled and constantly wiped the tears from his eyes. At first, I thought he was just being over emotional, but then I realized it was he who decided to move to this country, and it was he who knew there was opportunity in the land of the free. As a result, my parents, aunts, uncles, brother, and I were raised here. I could tell he was overjoyed to see how far we've come, how blessed we are with things he could never have for himself. That night at the game, my voice did not only sing the anthem. To him, it sang our anthem, one of bravery and choice. And now I get to make a mark on the world and follow my pursuit of happiness, just as my grandparents did. In this country, I am able to enact positive change or vote for those who can. In this country, I have access to an amazing education. In this country, I live with people of different origins. In this country, I have opportunity. In this country, I have a voice. Thank you.
Another round of applause to all the winners. So a little note, Sarah emailed her entry. The deadline was the 31st, October 31st. I think I got the email around 8 p.m. that night with her entry. Is it still too late, the email wrote? And she made it before the midnight deadline, and what honor it is that you've did that, because you wouldn't be in first place if you didn't go with that gut to send it, so congratulations. Outstanding effort. A few more awards and we'll be done here momentarily, but I lost my page here, so bear with me. At this time, I want to call upon the American Legion Post Commander, Ryan Howe, for 3 presentations he has from his post.
So this year, the American Legion had decided to partake in giving away awards as well. And we spent the last year trying to figure out who'd be really deserving of our very first awards. And this year, our Business of the Year award is going to Randall's Farm. Randall's Farm has not only been there for the American Legion, but they have also been there for every other organization in the town of Ludlow. And so we thought it was only fitting that Randall's Farm to be the first award recipient of.
I'm just so very proud to be here, and after listening to these students, even more proud. I just want to say that Randall's Farm thanks all of our veterans and active military, and we're just very honored to receive this award. Thank you.
So our next award that the American Legion Post 52 had decided to do would be the Organization of the Year. And with this recipient, which is going to be Homeward Vets, who has the warehouse in the mills, doesn't just help veterans in Ludlow, but helps veterans throughout Western Mass and through part of Central Mass as well. So we thought it was only fitting that Dave Felty and Homeward Vets be the recipient this year of the Organization of the Year.
For those who don't know, Homeward Vets provides furniture and household goods to veterans who are transitioning from homelessness into their homes. The governor proclaimed that Massachusetts will help every veteran obtain housing, but putting them in an apartment is one step. Furnishing that apartment and giving them a place to call home is another. And that is what Homeward Vets does. And we're proud that this organization is here in Ludlow.
Thank you very much. I'm very humbled and honored to accept this award. There's definitely not a one-man show behind this. This is it takes an organization, it takes a community, and the community that we found here in Ludlow is like no other community that we've found so far. We have no reason to leave. We love the support that Ludlow has given us. You guys are very fortunate to have one of the best veteran service agents in the state here. I'm fortunate enough to have him on our board, and we have the support of so many people in the community that has created us to be able to help the 700 veterans that we've helped since 2012. We're not going anywhere. The need is still there. It will always be there, I feel. But as an organization, we want to make sure that we're in place for those veterans in need. And we can't do that without the support and given to from the community and folks around us. So thank you for everybody that's here today. Congratulations to all the other recipients. Those were fantastic awards for the kids. What a great day and a great opportunity. Thank you so much for being here.
So the next thing is that, for those of you who don't know, Ludlow has had an American Legion baseball team for quite some time. And this year we have lost two of our best players that we've seen in a very long time. Corey Johnson, who was our first baseman, and TJ, who was our shortstop slash pitcher slash second baseman. They have been playing for the team for three and 4 years now, and it's going to be a hard year next year without them there. So TJ and Corey, can you please join me on stage?
Hi, everyone. Just very briefly, I'm the manager of the American Legion baseball team. I've had the privilege of coaching Corey and TJ, not only with the American Legion team, but also in youth growing up. They have come from here to where they are now. And in Legion baseball, especially in senior Legion, going up through 19 years old, and seniors in high school, I can tell you with these two, Corey being at first base and TJ being shortstop, and as Ryan said, second base and pitching, there are intangibles to these two players that don't come around all the time with all players. With Corey, it's funny, as a manager, anything gets hit to first base, I can just say, oh, okay, that'll be all right. He is one of the best first basemen I have ever seen play the game. And I'm even talking about sometimes players that I watch on TV. He's an incredible defensive player, hits well, listens, and anytime I ask him to do something, he says, whatever you need me to do, coach. That's the kind of player that any coach would want to have. TJ, tenacious. I don't have to give him signs because he understands the game to the point where he steals on his own. And believe me, Coach Fanning will probably echo this. There's not many players around the high school level that you just kind of allow to see the game himself and let them do their own thing sometimes, steal on their own, and do certain things on their own. But TJ understands the game of baseball, and he sees an opening where he can steal and hits well, fields well, can put him in any position, and he thrives at it. He's just a rabid dog out there with baseball sense. It's been a great pleasure coaching them. I've learned from them as a coach. And I wish them nothing but the best. It will be a trifling time trying to fit their positions. But I wish you best in your endeavors, boys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I hope as we leave here today, each of us will be motivated and inspired by the deeds and accomplishments of the Patriots past and present. I hope this motivation will help lead us into a brighter future, armed with a renewed sense of patriotism and purpose. We must remain committed to a stronger nation and to our veterans, for it is our veterans who have sacrificed and paid the highest price for all of us. God bless the United States of America. Special thank you to Ludlow High School and the school committee for hosting this event. I hope that this was worthy to move this from Exit 7 here because of the size of the crowd, and based on your attendance here today, I believe that that was a great choice to do. And I thank the chairman for allowing me to move it here. Thank you. I also want to thank Ludlow Community TV and all their staff here today, as well as the Ludlow High School Chorus. A couple of closing notes before the closing prayer. Reefs Across America has a table in the back. Please, if you have time, go sponsor a reef. Cash, charge, credit, IOUs, pink slips, they take it all back there. Help us to complete our goal of covering all the graves in Island Pond. These ceremonies will take place this year, the Wreath Lane, December 14th, Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m. Wreath Lane will occur at 10 with a ceremony to follow at noon. It is open to the public, to family, friends, kids, children. It's a great way to teach them and honor our veterans. So come on out, rain, snow, sleet, we're there. So come on out, we'll be laying the wreaths. The VFW tables in the back as well, they're raising, they have the poppies, so today's a good day to buy a poppy, make a donation, as well as the coupon books. All the monies raised from those books go to the awards that we presented today, the scholarships for our kids, so consider purchasing a coupon book. At this time, I call upon Deacon Norm for the closing prayer. Please rise.
Dear Lord, today we honor and ask your blessings on all our veterans, worthy men and women who gave their best when they were called upon to serve and protect their country. We pray that you will bless them for their unselfish service in the continual struggle to preserve our freedoms, our safety, and our country's heritage for all of us. Bless them abundantly for the hardships they faced, for the sacrifices they made, for their many different contributions to America's victories over tyranny and oppression. Also, bless and be with their families, whose sacrifice in itself helps our military men and women serve and protect this great land. Today and every day, we respect our veterans. We thank them, we honor them, and we are proud of them. We pray that you will watch over these special people and bless them with peace and happiness. Amen.
If any of the awardees want to come up after the ceremony for additional photos on stage, please feel free to just come up. This concludes this ceremony. Just another note, the Teacher of the Year awards are recognized all three schools, elementary, middle, and high school. This year we only had the Barrow Middle School submit an entry, but anyone can submit a nominee, a teacher, someone in their school, a friend, a family member who teaches. So we encourage you to take that for next year to nominate a teacher and recognize their commitment to educate our youth. As you can see by these essays, that the school is doing an outstanding job of educating our youth. So a round of applause to them and all the school and everyone. For all the veterans out there today, I treat you to a veterans lunch anywhere. It's free. Go eat on me to let them know to build Derek the Barge. Ludlow. Thank you and have a great day. Happy Veterans Day.